Imagine being the most powerful sorcerer in the kingdom, but everyone thinks you're a total loser. Meet Prince Arnold. While casually preparing to fight a massive minotaur in the desert, his butler, Sebas, interrupts with terrible news. General Dominic has been assassinated. But instead of rushing back to the palace, Arnold is holding an adventurer's mask. Sebas warns him that playing hero is a dangerous hobby, but Arnold just shrugs. You see, the entire kingdom calls him the insipid prince because his genius younger brother, Leonard, inherited all the family's talent. Since everyone already expects zero greatness from him, Arnold figures he might as well do whatever he wants. Slapping the mask on, he takes his secret identity, Silver, an elite SS rank adventurer. With a single flick of his wrist, he unleashes forbidden, ancient magic and vaporizes the Minotaur in seconds. He teleports to the Adventurers Guild, drops the monster's horn on the counter, shocks the crowd, buys everyone a round of drinks, and heads straight back to the palace to resume his useless prince routine. Back at the palace, Arnold meets with his twin brother, Leonard. Knowing the general's assassination means their own lives are now in danger, Arnold forces Leonard into a corner. "You need to fight for the throne, or we both die." Leonard is hesitant, but Arnold lays out the ultimate strategy. Leonard will build a personal military force, while Arnold plays the dirty political games to secure allies. Leonard thinks Arnold would make a better king, but Arnold aggressively shoots that down. He just wants a life of luxury and a beautiful wife, so he needs Leonard to be emperor. Later, Sabers asks why Arnold doesn't just reveal he's Silver to gain political power. Arnold explains that ancient magic is a massive noble taboo, revealing it would cause a scandal that destroys Leonard's chances. Instead, Arnold targets the neutral Kleinet Duke family, who are currently ignoring politics because their lands are being ravaged by monsters. Arnold teleports there as Silver to offer help, but the Duke's arrogant son calls him a fraud and kicks him out. Arnold doesn't mind. He catches a glimpse of the Duke's breathtaking daughter, Lady Finn, and heads home to cook up a backup plan. 5 days later, he returns to the mansion, but this time as Prince Arnold. He aggressively corners the Duke, claiming he sent the legendary Silver to help them, only for the Duke's family to insult him. The Duke turns pale and begs for forgiveness. The moment the Duke leaves the room, Arnold flashes a smug, villainous grin. It was a dirty trick, but by making the Duke feel guilty, the entire family is now deeply in their debt. The Duke returns, dragging his son, and frantically offers his son as a servant to make amends. Arnold flatly refuses the useless son. That's when Lady Finn steps forward, bravely offering herself as the apology gift to save her family. To keep up appearances, Arnold relents and arranges a meeting. Using illusion magic, Arnold projects a fake copy of his prince self bowing deeply to Silver, begging for help. Finn is stunned. A royal prince bowing to a commoner is unheard of. Touched by the prince's humility, Silver agrees to the quest. On the ride home, Finn smiles warmly and thanks Arnold for throwing away his pride for her. The smile triggers a childhood memory of Arnold's late mother, making the prince blush and look away. Later that day, Arnold and Sebas discover a valley completely overrun by millions of multiplying slimes. A local adventurer party is retreating because they lack the firepower to kill the mother slime. Arnold transforms into Silver, steps up to the front lines, and tells the party to stand aside. Raising his hands, massive magic circles light up the sky. With a single, apocalyptic blast of ancient magic, he completely vaporizes the entire swarm, leaving the vanguard utterly paralyzed with awe. Exhausted, Silver opens a portal and steps directly back into his private royal chambers. He pulls off his mask, lets his hair down and sighs, completely unaware that Lady Finn is standing right there in the corner of his room holding a tray of tea. She stares at the mask. She stares at his face. The secret is out. The lazy prince has just been exposed. Instead of panicking, she promises to keep his secret, earning Arnold's trust and deepening their friendship. Finn also comes to understand that Arnold has been hiding behind a false reputation only to support Prince Leonard's dream of becoming king. Meanwhile, the Duke rewards Abel's party for their efforts and officially pledges his family's support to Leonard's faction, giving the prince a valuable new ally in the struggle for the throne. Wanting to repay Arnold's kindness, Finn decides to accompany him to the royal capital despite the dangers surrounding the succession battle. Back at the capital, Arnold reports the successful alliance to Leonard and introduces Finn, who is welcomed as both a negotiator and a symbol of the Duke's support. The trio then discusses the kingdom's political landscape, learning that the strongest noble families have already divided their loyalties among rival heirs. Although Leonard gains another supporter, his faction still lags behind the others in wealth and influence. A few days later, Arnold reluctantly agrees to show Finn around the royal capital in disguise. Their peaceful outing allows them to grow closer, but it is interrupted when an arrogant noble publicly insults Arnold. Thinking quickly, Finn protects his identity with a clever lie, though it may create new political complications. An unexpected summons brings Arnold, Leonard, and every Imperial royal before the Emperor. Before the meeting even begins, the warlike Prince Gordon eagerly asks if they're heading to battle, earning a sharp insult from Princess Xandra. The Emperor cuts in to reveal the real reason they're here. He is reviving the Knights' Festival of the Hunt. Princes and princesses will compete directly by hunting high-rank monsters, fully backed by the Adventurers Guild. The prize? The coveted title of Ambassador Extraordinary. Leonard wants Arnold to aim for the title, but Arnold knows winning outright as himself would blow his cover as the incompetent prince. Meanwhile, Arnold steps into his secret identity as Silver, the Empire's top S-rank adventurer. He takes on an urgent guild bounty, easily obliterating a mutant Cerberus using his energy ascension skill. Commander Elna of the Imperial Guard arrives right after, and when she tries to pull rank, Silver mocks her openly. Elna backs down, but leaves holding a bitter grudge. Days later, Arnold gets the worst news possible. Elna has been assigned as his personal commander for the festival. Intent on stripping away his useless prince reputation, she drags him into a brutal, merciless training routine. As a bruised Arnold recovers, Sebas explains that Arnold's actual body is physically weak. His strength comes entirely from ancient magic. But Arnold realizes this is the ultimate cover. If he performs well in the festival, everyone will attribute it to Elna's brutal training rather than his secret identity. That night, an exhausted Arnold staggers through his mansion and triggers a secret passage, heading deep underground to a hidden library where his grandfather secretly studies ancient magic. Arnold consults his grandfather, whose soul was trapped inside a book after a demon possessed him, leading the Empire to ban ancient magic. The old man warns Arnold that the Imperial siblings will stop at nothing for the throne, suspecting the Emperor even orchestrated Prince Wilhelm's death. He also reveals the Hamlin, a rare artifact that uses sound waves to control massive hordes of monsters. Arnold realizes someone activated it long before the festival was announced, meaning a darker plot is at play. Heading back, Arnold is ambushed by a mercenary. Expecting an easy target, the assassin is shocked when Arnold instantly traps him in a high-level magic barrier while Sebas handles the rest of his squad. Using mind torture, Arnold forces a confession. Princess Xandra ordered the hit. But since she isn't clever enough to manipulate the monster hordes, Arnold suspects Prince Gordon or Prince Eric is the real mastermind behind the Hamlin. The festival moves to the city of Kiel, where Arnold gifts Finn magical disguise glasses. After running into Leonard, who is investigating a wave of local thefts, trained rodents scurry past and steal Finn's royal hairpiece. Arnold uncovers the scheme, tracking down acoustic Feystones used to guide the thieves' animals back to their hideout. Disguised as Leonard, Arnold tips off the knights to raid the den, giving his brother the credit, retrieving Finn's hairpiece, and bribing the guards to keep it quiet. As they walk home, Finn tells Arnold how proud she is of his true strength. The moment is quickly cut short when they spot Commander Elna violently beating up brawlers in the street. Arnold instantly turns around, steering Finn away to grab one last slice of cake before the festival begins. Later we see, deep in the shadows, Prince Carlos accepts a dark artifact known as the Hamlin from two cloaked figures. The deal is simple. Stage a fake heroic rescue during the hunt to steal all the glory. Meanwhile, at the tournament grounds, Commander France fits every royal participant with a magical tracking bracelet, announcing a strict rule. Stray more than 1 kilometer from your regiment leader and you're instantly disqualified. Arnold quietly sighs, watching his plans for a long nap completely evaporate. But before he can complain, Krista rushes over, breathless with a dire warning. She's seen a vision of a massive monster horde charging toward the city. Arnold keeps his cool, telling her to leave it to them. By the third day of the hunt, Carlos mysteriously surges into first place. Elna immediately suspects foul play. His unit simply doesn't have the strength to take down high-rank beasts. Right on cue, the ground begins to violently shake. Tens of thousands of beasts are fleeing westward, charging straight for the city of Kiel. Realizing Carlos used the artifact to trigger a full-blown catastrophe, Arnold deliberately smashes his tracking bracelet with his sword. Pretending to be clumsy, he accepts the instant disqualification, orders the others to head to Kiel to protect the Emperor, and promises to bring everyone back alive. The second the knights charge off, Arnold transforms into silver and vanishes into thin air. At the city gates, total chaos erupts. The Emperor's guards fight desperately against the Horde, but the situation worsens when two exiled S-rank vampires, Sam and Dean, descend from the sky to wipe out the royal bloodline. Dean unleashes a massive beam of shadow magic toward the Emperor, but Elna leaps into the fray, blocking the fatal blast with the legendary Sword of Amsberg. Carlos arrives expecting to play the hero, only to be struck down instantly. As he cries out that this wasn't the deal, the vampires laugh, revealing he was nothing more than a pawn to lure the Emperor into the open. Miles away, Silver materializes right beside Prince Leonard. He warns the prince that rushing in blindly will only get him killed, urging him instead to command the armies of the neighboring lords. When Leonard hesitates, worried the lords will view it as treason without imperial permission, Silver challenges him. Does he have the courage to carry that weight? Leonard steals his resolve. If it saves the people, he'll take full responsibility. Without hesitation, Silver tears open a massive spatial portal, linking every regional keep directly to Kiel and amplifies Leonard's voice across the battleground. Leonard rallies the realm, commanding the knights to step through the gate and fight alongside him. Over 3,000 fresh soldiers pour through the portal, uniting behind the prince. With a subtle nod, Silver slips back into the shadows as Leonard leads the charge to reclaim the city. While Prince Leonard rallied his men at the gates, Elna locked blades with the vampire brothers, Sam and Dean. Inside the estate, Krista panicked as her foresight warned of an even larger monster wave. Finny hugged her with a confident smile, promising to handle the Hamlin. Guided by Krista's prediction, Finn sprinted into the chaotic plaza, caught the falling artifact mid-air and tossed it to Elna. Enraged, Dean unleashed a lethal barrage of shadow magic directly at Finn. As she fell through the exploding air, accepting her fate, Silver materialized in a flash, catching her safely. He praised her bravery before launching skyward to stand beside Elna. When Dean sneered, asking if the hero shouldn't be protecting the Emperor, Silver casually replied that his duty was to the people, not the crown. Right on cue, Leonard's army arrived, cutting off the monster horde. With the civilians safe, Silver unleashed a massive cleric domain field across the battlefield, instantly healing the wounded soldiers. He then invoked ancient curse chains, binding both vampires and thousands of beasts in a single second. To finish the battle, Silver cast Infinity Darkness, while Elna unleashed the full radiance of her holy sword, completely vaporizing the enemy army in a single blinding blast. After the fight, Silver referred to Arnold as the insipid prince. Elna immediately pressed her holy sword flush against his throat, warning him never to insult Arnold again. Silver apologized and vanished through a portal. 3 days later, Prince Carlos confessed to using the Hamlin for political clout. While his siblings pleaded for mercy, Leonard argued that justice must apply equally to royal blood. Impressed by his conviction, the Emperor named Leonard the official winner of the festival and ambassador extraordinary. However, Elna revealed that Arnold intentionally broke his tracking bracelet to send his knights to save Kiel. Taken aback, the Emperor appointed Arnold as Lieutenant Ambassador Extraordinary, forcing him to become Leonard's official right hand and completely shattering Arnold's dreams of a lazy life. That evening, a burnt-out Arnold drifted off to sleep at his desk. Finna gently draped a warm blanket over his shoulders, remembering the day he first gave her the hairpin. Driven by emotion, she leaned down to kiss his cheek, but panicked at the last second and pulled back. Blushing furiously, she picked up his teacup and took a tiny sip from the exact spot his lips had touched. Later, Arnold and Leonard visit their mother, Lady Mitsuba, to announce their upcoming diplomatic tour as ambassadors extraordinary. When she casually asks which of them intends to marry Finn, both princes spit their tea in shock, each frantically denying any romantic interest. Needing some fresh air, Arnold steps out into the courtyard alone. As the quiet sets in, reality hits him. If cutthroat siblings like Eric, Gordon, or Zandra claim the throne, his mother and Krista will be in grave danger. He summons Sabers from the shadows, ordering him to dig up leverage on every neutral noble in the capital. Before he leaves the country, Arnold intends to secure his political footing. His first target is Count Bales. He helps Count Bales secure an imperial divorce from his corrupt wife, effectively dismantling Xandra's scheme to install a puppet as Minister of Industry. When the Emperor replaces the disgraced minister with Bales, he realizes Arnold is secretly pulling the strings, mirroring his own youth when he played the fool to survive. Anticipating Xandra's revenge, Arnold arranges for Fini to stay under the protective wing of Archduchess Anna and Elna at the Amsberg estate. On his ride home, Arnold's carriage is suddenly cut off by an explosive fireball. Xandra's assassin steps out of the smoke, launching a flaming kunai straight for Arnold's chest. Before sabers can step in, the attack is parried in a flash of steel. It is Linfia, the A-rank adventurer Arnold crossed paths with in the desert. The assassin lashes out with a torrent of fire and ice spells, but Linfia smoothly absorbs the onslaught with her enchanted shield. In a fluid motion, her shield shifts into a spear. She spins the weapon, releasing disorienting acoustic shockwaves that scramble the assassin's senses, forcing him to flee into the night. Recognizing Arnold as high nobility, Linfia kneels and makes an urgent plea. Women and children from her hometown are being systematically abducted. With local authorities turning a blind eye, the village pool of funds to hire mercenary guards has completely dried up. She traveled to the capital seeking an audience with the elusive adventurer Silver, but now hopes Arnold can provide financial aid. Arnold asks what she would do if he simply refuses. Without flinching, Linfia states she will dig up dirt on him and sell it to his enemies to secure the funds her people need. Her fierce loyalty and resourcefulness give Arnold the exact answer he was hoping for. Since Elna cannot guard Fini outside the city, Arnold offers Linfia a deal. Act as Finn's personal bodyguard while he is away, and he will fully finance the mercenary forces protecting her village. Surprised by how decisive and perceptive the so-called insipid prince truly is, Linfia draws her dagger, places it on the table, and swears her life to the contract. Arnold extends his hand, sealing their secret alliance.